My name is C.J. Cassidy, and I'll be reading an excerpt from A Tortured Soul, the unauthorized biography of Nicholas Anderson. A Tortured Soul, Chapter 3, Message in a Bottle, Part 2. Catherine started missing work for a week or two at a time. Being in management, she had a more lenient absentee policy than the rest of us. The excuse was either that it was that time of the month, or that she was out of town on her boyfriend's tour. When she came back to work, she was skittish and jumpy. I also noticed that her style of dressing changed. She wore more pants, long sleeves, and high collars after Johnny returned from one of his tours. Normally she would show more skin when she was thin. I knew she was dressing to hide the bruises. Johnny's beatings were escalating. Catherine and Johnny had been together for almost 3 years. It was obvious to me that he didn't have the sense or maturity to handle a relationship with an older woman. So the only way he knew how to control her was to abuse her. He probably started out by verbally abusing her, and when he saw that she didn't listen or if she stood up for herself, he turned to physical violence. He wasn't working a regular job and she was paying all his bills. She was footing all his expenses, and she did for him by depriving herself. This probably made him feel like less of a man, so he justified pimp slapping her to make himself feel like a thug, when he was really just a punk. I think he was just taking advantage of her, but that's just my opinion, and nobody asked me. One day Johnny came by the job to pick her up, and when I say he came by to pick her up, I mean he waited outside so she could drive him to a gig in New Jersey. He was already in her car when she came out. I could see that when she got into the car, he raised his hand to her and she cowered behind the wheel. I had never seen Catherine cower. I didn't like it. I really wish I could get my hands on this little son of a bitch, but it really wasn't my place. Catherine had to decide for herself how much she would put up with and when she should put a stop to it. Catherine drove off. One day I just came into her office with a cup of tea. "What do you want, Nick?" She avoided eye contact. "I brought you some chamomile tea." "I don't want any tea, thank you." "Okay, I'll just leave it here in case you change your mind. It will help soothe your nerves." "What makes you think I need to have my nerves soothed?" "Are you kidding? Your shoulders are hunched up over your ears." I then walked behind her and put my hands on her shoulders. "What are you doing?" "Trust me." I began to rub her shoulders. She resisted and squirmed at first, but then she gave in to my strong hands and gentle touch. She cooed and moaned gently. "Oh, I'm getting goosebumps." "Have a sip of tea while it's still hot." She reached for the tea I had left on the opposite edge of the desk. This gave me the opportunity to slide my hands onto her back and work her shoulder blades around her bra strap. She cooed and moaned again. Catherine was almost lying face down on her desk by now. It was hard not to fantasize about her in this position. She was now totally receptive to my touch. I kneaded her back like bread dough. I was a little worried that I might aggravate any bruising she might have, but she was wearing a sleeveless top, so I knew that the bruising was minimal. Oh, that's so good. Okay, no bruises here, but I concentrated more on her neck and shoulders. Bob passed her office and paused in the open door. "Would you like me to close the door so you two can have some privacy?" "No, Bob, leave it open. Thank you," I said. Catherine ignored him and purred. After I was finished, Catherine was fully relaxed. I exited her office. "Thank you, Nick, for the tea and the back rub." "Anytime, Catherine." And I closed the door behind me to give her some privacy. Lisa walked up to me. "So, Nick, are those back rubs for Catherine only, or can anyone get one? Your desk or mine?" "Oh, wait." I looked over to Bob at his desk, and he was hunched over his keyboard, rubbing his neck and shoulders in between typing. "We are talking about you, right?"